I had to reshoot this video. I almost cursed. I was so excited. I had to remember this family-friendly channel. But when I saw what Stellar is doing, I'm telling you, I got very happy. I like when Stellar's sneaky Stellar, but I like when they're doing good stuff. We're going to begin here on the Bitcoinist.com, and it's titled XRP to surge 1,100%. An expert predicts. Let's see what this expert is predicting. It says pseudonymous crypto analyst and expert Dark Defender is back. Shout out to Dark Defender. Is back with another bullish prediction for the XRP price. This time around, the crypto analyst is extending his forecast for the cryptocurrency with the price target sitting considerably higher than his previous prediction. And then the next section is titled this: sending XRP price to new $5.85 all-time high. I like the sound of that. I do believe we need big catalysts. You know my thoughts by now. But when we have the proper catalyst in place, and yes, one of them is regulations. We're going to need regulations to run wild in the US, but everything is set up perfectly right now. We just need a few key pieces left. Yeah, we can make a run to 585. Sure. First, we got to break through that $2 range, and then sure, we can make a run, in my humble opinion. A little bit more complicated than that. I'm oversimplifying, but you get why. I'm kind of pressed for time. It says, in the most recent XRP price prediction posted on X, formerly Twitter, crypto analyst Dark Defender has presented a bullish run for the digital assets price. The most recent prediction puts this coin's price on a path to balloon 1,100% and reach as high as $5.85. Do you agree with that? If you do agree with that, when do you think it can happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. You know, I see some of your comments. I can't see all of them, but I see a great deal of them. You know that. You see my response. It says, the analysis first alludes to the fact that XRP price had closed the month of September with a doji. Now, for those who might not know what a doji is, it simply means that the price of the digital asset had closed the month in a similar range to what it started the month with. In this case, XRP started September at around 51 cents and closed at around 51 cents, hence a doji. Dark Defender believes that XRP closing the month with a doji is positive, leading to a 66-cent retest in short term. XRP has already broken the first resistance as pointed out in the chart. All right, so now let's move on to another article here. We're just going to jump right to the Stellar article here because I was a little excited about this. The implications are huge, and just my humble opinion, you don't have to agree. This is from Cointelegraph.com, and it's titled Stellar PwC published framework to judge emerging market blockchain projects. It says Stellar Development Foundation published a method for judging Web3 project effectiveness. What's in their best interest? Of course, they're thinking about themselves, but I'm going to let them tell you a little bit more. It says Web3 project effectiveness in Colombia, Argentina, Kenya, and the Philippines. Look at the range. Look at how global this is. It says, and other developing markets. It just happens to be in a lot of regions where Stellar is heavy, right? Come on now, put 2 and 2 together. Stellar's trying to position itself. It knows it's almost time. Let's keep going. It says the Stellar Development Foundation, developers of the Stellar Network, released a financial inclusion. And I always said this. When they say financial inclusion, in my humble opinion, what they mean is they're going to include themselves because they're the new, let's just be real, the new financial system, hence the name new, the part of the name new, they're the new kids on the block. They're trying to include themselves into that untapped money, the money that the legacy system has never been able to tap into because they can't build corridors in certain areas. And they've said that themselves, by the way. It says here, financial inclusion framework for judging the efficacy of emerging market blockchain projects. The framework was developed in cooperation, get this, with consultants PricewaterhouseCoopers International, PwC. They worked with PwC on this. The implications are huge. What else are they doing behind the scenes that we don't know about? See, I knew it. I knew it. If they're looking at all these areas, they're not looking for other blockchains to set themselves up. No, this is all about Stellar, of course. And obviously PwC as well, which that's a very interesting connection. It says, and was explained in a white paper published on September 25th. Using this framework, the teams concluded that blockchain payment solutions significantly increase access to financial products by lowering fees to 1% or less. Now, once again, it's in the Stellar Foundation's best interest for it to insert itself, to promote itself. Even though it's a nonprofit, they still want to serve a purpose. They still are a business. They still want to dominate. That's why they were working on Soroban. That's why they had all of these different innovations over the years, automated market makers, all of this. They didn't do all of that to just hand everything to another blockchain. Not at all. This is why they are the ones running the United Nations fund, whatever that is, the Wisdom Tree Fund. Franklin Templeton, they want to be number one. They want to be at the front. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it, 100%. But I want to make that clear because they talk very vaguely. And I just don't want it to come across when I'm interpreting this information. And once again, it's just my interpretation, not financial advice. But I just want to make it clear that they have no vested interest to promote anyone else or make way for anyone else. They have themselves in mind when they are doing these things. That's just the nature of the business. It says they also found that blockchain products have increased the speed of payments and help users to avoid inflation. They also see the huge influx of migrants coming to the United States. A lot of that capital is going back to the old country. I'm telling you right now, a lot of that money. And a lot of people are, that's another thing. A lot of people are going to build themselves up, right? And then they're going to leave the United States, but they'll work digitally. They'll still get United States money. So that money has to go back and forth. Get what I'm saying? And I know this because I personally know a lot of people who have done that. They came to the United States. These are people real close to me, by the way. Came to the United States, built themselves up. They bought houses outright. They own it outright, stuff, all their properties outright in their old country. Then they were like, hey, Mick, we're leaving. They went back there doing a great job, but they're still getting that money. But the whole time they were here, they were also sending money back. Stellar sees the opportunity here. Like what's about to happen in the next few years is major, baby. And the people don't see it. They don't see it, but I see it. Yeah, my peepers are open. Yeah. So now, and they want a piece of that money. I want a piece of that money too. We'll see how it works out. No guarantees, just my humble opinion. It says here, in other words, they say their products can provide services to unbanked people living in the developed world. Cha-ching! Making this claim has become an effective way for some Web3 projects to gain funding. Well, Stellar doesn't need that anymore, right? They have all the backing they will ever need, especially with their connections to the World Economic Forum now. It says, for example, the United Nations, even they had to bring up I told you, even they had to bring it up. These large, powerful entities that Stellar is in bed with, United Nations, WEF, they're door openers. They have key people in place everywhere. Look how crazy those fingers went. That's everywhere. Every which way that you can think of, they can open doors. And isn't Stellar very appeasing? They're always like, just look how Stellar behaves. It's all, how do I say it? It's very manipulative to the powers, the so-called powers that be, isn't it? Stellar's always like this. Aren't we good boys and girls? We help people, with donations. Look at us. We're nonprofit because it's opening doors. You get where I'm going with this? They're opening doors. This is why I always say sneaky, sneaky Stellar. I'm all for it as long as they get the job done. All right. So I don't want to hang on this for too long because it get me excited. Let me close out right here. It says, however, in their paper, Stellar and PwC argue that projects can fail to enhance financial inclusion if they don't have a framework for evaluating what is needed for success. So Stellar is also setting itself up as somewhat of an authority figure, right? If they're going to help PwC judge who's good and who's bad, who has a great infrastructure, who's a bad infrastructure, they're setting themselves up as an authoritative judge. That's something else to take in. So they want a power position. That's something else to take into account, in my humble opinion. All right, so now let's move on to another article here. All right. So now this article here is from the cryptobasic.com, and it's titled Ripple lands 2 awards for fintech and CBDC innovation. Now, if they're giving them awards, that means that we have to be the best of the best, which means cha-ching, the money is going to come at some point. Not financial advice, just my humble opinion. But I mean, I've been right about a few things, so you know, I don't know. I might be right about this. I don't know. You choose. You make up your own mind. You know, my old one of my old bosses when I got out of college would be so proud of me. He talked just like that. Like it says this, the San Francisco-based blockchain startup has scored another win, adding its recent legal success against the United States Securities Exchange Commission. This time, the victory is outside the legal courts, with Ripple winning 2 awards at the Future Digital Awards for Fintech and Payments 2023. Organized by Juniper Research, the award recognizes companies contributing to the future of fintech and digital payments, a niche where Ripple's technology is hugely beneficial. That's key right there. See, we're so advanced. We're so out in front of them. They have to acknowledge that we are the best of the best. We are hugely, quote unquote, beneficial. It says other leading companies such as Amazon, IBM, really. All right, I guess. Okay. All right. It says, and Stripe. I take umbrage to IBM for some reasons. Get to that another time. And Stripe have featured as winners in previous Future Digital Award events, making it a prestigious event. Following a rigorous selection process at this year's awards, Ripple landed 2 awards, namely Sustainability and FinTech Innovation Award, Platinum Award, and Platinum Award for CBDC Innovation. What do they know that we don't? They know something. I'm telling you now. I know how it is behind the scenes. And all these people make phone calls. They talk about things with each other and they don't put it out to the public. NDA sign, memorandums of understanding, things like that. Let's keep going. So notably, Ripple and embedded payment solution Marqeta are the only companies to claim more than a single prize at this year's awards. What does that tell you about Ripple and the position that they have in the new financial system, of which I do believe with the right catalyst, which will be the flip of the switch, regulatory. All we need is regulatory clarity. I'm talking about real regulations in the United States. So the companies can stop being scared. We're ready to operate. We're making phone calls. We're making deals all the time, as you see, progress all the time. But a lot of the companies they always they're shaking in their boots because of the governments and such. They still need a little bit more clarity. We win this SEC case, in my opinion. We win this SEC case, and then it's any minute, any time, boom, things to start happening majorly. So I think they have a trial, set for a pretrial, something like that, set for April 2024. I think I have an article on that coming up. So a little bit more hurdles coming up, but nothing major in my humble opinion. We're going to bring home a victory again, and then we play. Then we play. So this article here is from the cryptopotato.com, and it's titled Ripple XRP gets listed on another prestigious list. We're getting a lot of shine, a lot of light. It says Ripple's latest recognition. It says the crypto firm that stands behind the XRP token announced on X Twitter that it was included on this year's FinTech 100 list for its efforts in, quote, modernizing cross-border payments, unquote. Other companies praised for their work in the field include the payments providers Neum, TazaPay, TerraPay, and Thunes. It says, we're pleased to share that Ripple is on this year's FinTech 100 list for our work in modernizing cross-border payments. The trillions are coming. Money. It says, it's an honor to share this recognition alongside other innovators incorporating tech into their world of finance. All right, let's move on to another article here. I think we're making pretty good timing today, in my humble opinion. So now this article is also from the cryptopotato.com. I love that name. That name always makes me giggle a little bit. Just a wee bit makes me giggle. So this article is titled, "Is Ripple XRP on the verge of bull run?" Once again, I just want to say, I think all of crypto could have had a few mini bull runs. It wouldn't have been a true bull run, mini runs. But every single time the U.S. Treasuries come in with the Stone Cold Stunner, with the Undertaker Tombstone Pile Driver. I don't remember who that was in the comment section, but somebody let me know that their favorite wrestling move from pro wrestling, not my kind of wrestling, freestyle Greco-Roman, but that it was Undertaker's Pile Driver. I respect that greatly. I love the Undertaker, Kane, Oh man, those are some good days. What? Remember when they used to pretend that Kane burned his face? Remember that? only to wipe his paint would always get wiped off when he got sweaty. That was hilarious. Anyway, let's focus, people. Let's focus. So now this article reads, Ripple's price has been showing a slight uptrend, retracing toward the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. However, if the cryptocurrency successfully breaks above the 200-day moving average and the significant resistance zone of 55 cents, the market will probably shift into a bullish trend. Yeah, it's been consolidating for a long time. I think it's like logical. Usually after a long period of consolidation, things might go up. Unless there's a huge negative catalyst, and that's definitely possible because there's a liquidity drain going on right now. And then things they can move down, but it's been holding through a few liquidity drains, so may go up at some point. It says here, the daily chart. Upon analyzing the daily chart, Ripple's price experienced a notable rejection, leading to a phase of consolidation. It retraced slightly toward the 200-day moving average at 52 cents and managed to reclaim it somewhat. The 200-day moving average is widely recognized as a strong resistance level. However, the price breaking above this level indicates the potential for a bullish reversal in the market, suggesting the possibility of further upward movements. It is important to note that this scenario relies on a downward pullback that confirms the validity of the breakout. Nevertheless, despite the price slightly surpassing the moving average, there is still a high possibility of rejection followed by a decline. Right now, crypto is not in control of itself. So you have to take that into account. Nothing is like crypto, stocks, commodities are not in control of themselves right now, as long as the treasury yields are going wild. I think I just released a video on the other channel, literally titled, or maybe the thumbnail was titled, "This is getting wild," because it is. If you see what's going on in all the other markets that dominate these markets, right? You'll understand very quickly what's going on. But anyway, let's move on to another article here. So this one here is from the cryptobasic.com, and it is titled, Pundit Shares How Holding XRP is More Profitable Than Trading. Take in some information. It says, prominent crypto influencer Sami recently shared a compelling argument in favor of holding XRP rather than trading the asset, citing a $170,000 investment. Sami's argument sheds light on the benefits of long-term XRP ownership versus the volatility of trading the asset. In a recent post on X, the influencer stated that he had employed an indicator many traders seek to leverage to outperform holding through trading. It says he emphasized that this approach only proves beneficial if one can predict which altcoins will thrive in the coming years, a task that often hinges on a combination of skill and luck, with a touch of gambling. Let's scroll down here and see what else there is going on. It says Sami corroborated his argument with a compelling case. He presented an investment with an initial capital of $100,000 in XRP in late 2018. According to the influencer, this investment later surged to $170,000. The astounding 70% increase served as a testament to the allure of hodling. It says, referencing the indicator he mentioned earlier, Sami noted that any market participant would have ended up with a 76% decline in the initial investment to a discouraging $24,000 within the same time frame if they had traded with the system. All right, so that's a pretty good point. Pretty impactful point, in my humble opinion. We're going to skip a little bit there. There's a lot more there on the cryptobasic.com, which, by the way, if you like to listen to podcasts, I have made a podcast playlist. So all of the videos that will be coming out now, the one yesterday as well, are now available on YouTube Music. So you can listen in case you don't have time to watch, or you don't want to watch. You just want to listen. You want to turn your device off and be able to listen like it's a audio podcast. These episodes are now available on YouTube Music as podcasts. There you have it. Maybe that makes things a little easier for some people. Okay. I know a lot of people have told me they like to listen to the show. So now let's move on here. So now we got a little bit of Cardano ADA, news here. This is from U.Today. Cardano ADA launchpad Coinecta kicks off. It says here, Coinecta, a novel decentralized launchpad for Web3 products, kicks off on Cardano blockchain. Coinecta is organized to provide a transparent and secure system for funding rounds for cryptocurrency protocols in the Cardano ecosystem. The platform is set to rely on CNCT, a core native cryptocurrency asset. All right, it says per the statement of its team, Coinecta is a community-backed, fully open-sourced, decentralized and on-chain cryptocurrency protocol with no VC backing at any phase of growth. It's interesting. The team of Coinecta is looking for regulatory approval of its product in El Salvador. Shout out to all my Salvadorans. This is one of the most crypto-friendly jurisdictions. I grew up with a lot of Salvadorans. Oh, yes. They were like, family, mi gente. Let me tell you something. I ate a lot of pupusa, a lot of tomal. A lot. Oh, man. Wait, what were we talking about again? I gotta get some pupusa. Wait a minute. I'm hungry. Somebody out there's like, somebody's eating one right now. Why? You couldn't share with old Alphanine? Come on now. What? Jeez. You guys don't care. All right. So anyway, what is that? Where did we leave off? One of the most crypto-friendly jurisdictions globally and a major Bitcoin hub, man. I love my Salvadorans also because they can box. Oh, they can box. They're not afraid to go toe-to-toe at all. Sure. Yeah, we did a lot of boxing. Oh, yeah, a lot of boxing. Let's see here. It says work continues on the legal side of things. We are waiting to hear back from the government in El Salvador if our license application is approved. As things are progressing slowly, we have begun exploring other options in other jurisdictions so that we can move forward with the CNC token sale. That I don't care about, but I do care about the health of Cardano because I'm keeping my eye on Cardano. I definitely am, 100%. So now let's move on to another utility coin here that I'm keeping my eye on, that I recently feasted on, that was doing very well. I really think it has a bright future. Not financial advice, and I'm not saying that so people can go buy some. Nope, no, not at all. So let me get to the article, okay? All right. CryptoSlate.com, Solana DeFi ecosystem rallies amid strong headwinds. I find this is more like sharing or having a conversation with family members. That's how I feel when I'm doing the channel, right? Not trying to influence anyone. I don't ever want to be an influencer at all. I'm just a humble researcher. I just want to share the research. And I have a little bit of fun sometimes. It says Solana DeFi ecosystem rallies amid strong headwinds. And let me tell you something. And this is why. In the future, if Solana does what I think is going to do, I'm going to feast on Solana. And I think it has a brighter future than what most people are estimating. Throw in Chainlink there too. I don't know if I would feast on Chainlink, but they have a very interesting project going on. Now that they're tiptoeing into Bankcoin territory. This is my humble opinion. It says Solana's ecosystem is enjoying notable growth this year, scoring adoptions from Visa, Shopify, and other major traditional institutions. And that's exactly why I'm keeping my eye on them. 100%. There's a pop-up here. What is this? Okay, it's gone now. It says, as of the latest data available, the TVL has dipped slightly to $329 million. However, this increase underscores the recent influx of investors into the network's decentralized finance ecosystem. This surge is a notable departure from the previous year's trend. In 2022, Solana's DeFi TVL experienced a gradual decline, influenced by the decreasing value of Sol and the broader market downturn. Concerns regarding the project's association with FTX further exacerbated this decline. I think a lot of those people already sold everything and they were out of there now. And now the new people that are coming in, and there's probably still a lot of the old holders of Sol as well. But I'm just saying, I think the new people are coming in are looking at Solana's projects they have going on. They're looking at that maybe it hit a bottom, maybe not. Maybe it'll go lower. I don't know. But I think a lot of people are thinking that maybe it hit a bottom, hit a low at that, what was like $18, $19, then it went up to 24. They're also taking it into account what it could do in the future. Is circulating supply, I believe, is reasonable, right? I think it is. And so they're like, hey, wait a minute. I'm going to get some Solana before it's too late. And it has a lot of big institutions praising it, which means they have their eye on Solana. So I think they're taking that into account. And that's what will push and has been pushing Solana as of late and into the future. Just my humble opinion. So this represents an increase of close to 40% on the year-to-date metrics. It's worth noting that despite this recent growth, Solana's DeFi TVL remains significantly below its all-time high, which is great, which is why a lot of people who weren't in Solana before and weren't heavy in Solana and now are taking note of it are probably going heavy into it right now, or just, stacking a little bit, maybe. So now, let's end off here with a little bit of Quant news, because I saw this Quant article pop up in my feed, and it's from Quant.network directly, and it's titled "Bringing APIs to Life: Easier Smart Contract Calling." And this is one reason I love Quant. No one will change my mind. I make up my own mind. Nobody's going to change my mind about that. I love Quant. I haven't seen anything that they're doing wrong. I think they've been making all the right moves. They've been funding the right things, expanding rapidly, efficiently, making everything more delicious for companies, making it easier for companies to deploy in every possible way. They're working with the Bank of International Settlements. They're working with the Bank of England. They're working with Nexi and Sia Chain, Sia Partners, all those banks over there. We'll see what comes out of that. There's no guarantees in anything, but these are things that they're actually doing. It's major. So I love Quant. And I experienced that Quant boom a couple of times, right? It says, due to their flexibility and modularity, APIs are an ideal way for a business to start exploring and adopting blockchain technology for specific use cases. With Overledger APIs, any business can adopt blockchain technology and benefit from its advantages. Overledger V3 read and write APIs will provide Overledger users with the ability to call any of the preset functions in their smart contract rather than having to run separate API calls. This is brilliant. How much smoother will things be? How much easier can it possibly get? How much more delicious can it get for these companies? They're going to continue to come to Quant, the big ones. And I don't think, well, let me rephrase. I think Quant is just getting started, even with all the major stuff that they're doing. And people don't see it coming. I don't need them to. Quant is a moonshot easily with the right circumstances, not financial advice, with the right conditions, right catalyst. It says, our V3 APIs reflect REST API best practices, making them easier to understand and interact with. That's what I want to hear. As an Overledger user, you only need to code your application once and can specify a different location and smart contract ID if you want to communicate with a different network, saving time and effort. And with that, brilliant move, Quant, as usual. And with that, now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.